Hey everybody, I'm Ranjan Kumar and I'm back with a new insight. And I'm sure you realize that every time I have an insight and that kind of brings a shift in me and has the potential of helping you with a shift that could transform your relationships with yourself and everybody around you. I'm here with a video and I share these deep insightful conversations to help you understand what I have experienced and what you can probably experience if you can give some space for these insights. So here's the insight. uh, for most part of my life, I felt unloved, I felt alone, I felt lonely, I felt as if uncared for, and I felt very I felt very miserable at everything that was happening around me. And there were fantabulous moments in my life when I always have people around me who love me, who care for me, and who have always been there. But for most part of my life, I was focused on everything that was not going well, everything having the people around me who cared very deeply for me and who were very committed to help me. I would still go to bed feeling lonely and feeling lost in this whole game of life, and creating and manufacturing misery for myself. And you know of late, when I started experiencing this shift in my being, I started looking at, why exactly would I do that when I have people who love me, my family who loves me, you know and friends who care for me, and colleagues who appreciate me or acknowledge me, and hardcore fans of me who follow me and who do not miss even a session of mine, and they appreciate me, they talk about me positively, they spread everything about me positively. And having all those things, and having uh, being invited to talks where stadiums are filled with thousands of people, and workshops with hundreds of people who are curious to become public speakers and trainers and coaches, and simultaneously being acknowledged by them, and being known for the shifts that I create in them. I'm giving you the picture that I would, for a very long time, I would still feel lonely. I would still go to bed feeling sad, and it would be rare, if I had gone to bed feeling happy about everything that happened. And why would that happen? And then I started looking at, how we treat life. We in compartments, how we treat life in parts, and how we treat everything that's happening as separate from the other and separate from our own self. And this is where I got this insight, which brought a whole shift in my understanding that, when my daughter has a habit and my son has a habit, the moment they wake up in the morning, they come to me with all their love and they hug me. And this is what I used to do with my mom. I used to, until she passed away about 3 years ago, I would get up and I would go and I would hug her and I would say a good morning, and I would hold her in my arms. And the same thing my kids do with me. My daughter and my son, at the moment they wake up, they rush to me, they wish me good morning, and sometimes it's a silent hug, and there's no conversation for the next 5 minutes. We're just hugging each other, we're just holding each other. And I was like, don't we have these moments in our life where maybe we're not hugging, but somebody is holding space for us, somebody is listening to us, somebody is acknowledging us, somebody is caring for us, somebody is helping us and supporting us, and somebody is posting on social media about us, somebody is inviting others to join us and connect with us. There are many such things that are happening with us, but and yet we feel lonely, we feel miserable, we feel sad, we manufacture our own loneliness. because we treat them as mere acts of love, and we forget that it's you see that act of love because in that moment you are being loved. Only that you don't acknowledge that being love and being loved or being the space for love, and you treat that act as just one act, and you're like, okay, somebody, so what if somebody acknowledged me just once? So what if somebody cared for me for just 5 minutes, but the other time I'm lonely, I'm all alone? So what if I gave a presentation to 400, 500, 3,000 people? These guys don't know what I'm going through, and I'm lonely at home, and I'm miserable. And this is how we keep manufacturing our sorrow state of being. And this is how we dismantle the entire state of positive being that is always available to us, and then we cry on that destruction that we manufactured by ourselves. And at the same time we keep playing that victim role as if, yeah, I have so much with me, I have so much around me, and yet I feel lonely. So it's like that constant inner dialogue of conscious creation of sad state of being, loneliness, misery, that we keep projecting onto everything on the outside. And when somebody comes to us expressing their friendship, expressing their companionship, expressing their love, expressing how they care for us, we treat them as mere acts of that, that emotion or feeling. And and we feel that, well, that's very small. In fact, the biggest thing that we are ignoring is that we see them, at least we see them because we be them. We are able to see that act of love and acknowledge that, acknowledge at least that act of love is because there is that state of being you are in, and only that you work hard to ignore it. You work hard to come out of, to rush out of that state of being, and you are chasing another act of love. But you never feel trusted. You never trust, you never have, you lose that faith on that, on that desire, or the reality that you can always be in a state of love, you can always be in a state of, happiness, because you feel that you feel that this is just one act. When am I going to have abundance of love in my life? When am I going to have abundance of relationships in my life? When am I going to have abundance of happiness in my life? You're looking, it's like you're desiring to have an ocean of things, ocean of happiness, ocean of love, or, ocean of positive emotions in your life, while ignoring that drop that is right in front of you, and you have access to it. And I thought, like, what a magic this is, that you have a family around, you have friends around, you have love around, you have fun around, you have happiness around, you have you have you got access to life, you got access to this dimension of life where you experience people in their physical dimension. You experience this laughter, you experience this calm, this peace, and you've got a brilliant mind, which connects you to the world. And you know what if you could just start observing the state of being that you are accessing life from and through? What if you could start acknowledging your own being in that moment? What if you could just be available to that act of love, so much so that you start connecting with the state the other person is coming from, and so that you create space for a deep, transformative, heart to heart connection? And that would be a transformative relationship. Love you. Bye bye.